Hello beautiful people, welcome back to my channel. I am Adriana and today we're talking about the Wheel of Fortune. So stay tuned. Okay, so y'all already know, if you haven't seen the other cards, they're linked up here. So just, go check them out. It's a whole series, but we are diving into Major Arcana card 10, which is the Wheel of Fortune. And I have my iPad here to talk about the card, the symbolism, the meanings, you name it. Now, I will be referencing with the Rider-Waite tarot deck, but you are more than welcome to use your own deck if you have some other different systems to see similarities, to see differences, and to see even deeper into the messages and meanings behind the card. So let's get into it. So I like to break the cards down based on the different symbols, and we are going to start with the scenery. Let's start with the scenery. The Wheel of Fortune card is chaotic. And when I say chaotic, I just mean there's a lot going on. There's a lot to read into. Whereas the card before, the Hermit card, was very straight to the point, plain and simple. So with the Wheel of Fortune, we have the scenery around the sky and clouds. And with this sky element, it makes me think about this idea of rising above, of thinking higher thoughts, of being elevated. Those are the, or kind of like this idea of destiny, or just like things that aren't totally in your control. Because who out here controlling the sky like that? Okay, so we have that gotten out of the way. Now let's dive into our beings. Now we have 1, 2, 3, 4 in the corners. We have our snake here. Hope you can see that. We have our Anubis here, and then our Sphinx here. So as some of you may know, snakes in any esoteric practice are very much known for their transformation, known for their deceit, their ability to be in the material and in the spiritual world at the same time. And so we have our snake who is facing downwards, and so a lot of tarot scholars will imply that that means the snake is coming down into the material, because remember, we're in the sky and the snake is slithering itself down, which means the sky down below is going to be earth, our realm. So we have these 4 creatures here in the corner, and they are said to represent the four fixed signs of the zodiac. So that's going to be Libra, Scorpio, Aquarius, and Gemini. Taurus? Taurus. Taurus is the bull. Scorpio, Aquarius, and Libra. That's not right. Sagittarius. I just had the biggest brain fart. I swear I prepared for this, y'all. Okay, so let's try this again. The 4 corner beings represent Taurus, Sagittarius, Scorpio, and Libra. And fixed energy is very much in its prime. It knows it is the energy of bringing forth something. And so we have this representing our 4 corners. They're all holding books, which books are knowledge and wisdom. And so these fixed signs are bringing in that type of wisdom, letting us know like, hey, this is and this isn't, and being very much those guides that we need, especially thinking about the different signs. All of those fixed signs are such very wise energies, very tuned into everything and themselves type of energy. So that's kind of what these fixed symbols are representing here in this Wheel of Fortune card. I'm moving into our Sphinx and Anubis. So those are two Egyptian figurines, symbols, deities, you know, whatever you want to call it. Anubis being our god of the underworld, or god of the dead, and then the Sphinx being this representation of wisdom, knowledge, and this gatekeeper of royalty, and also this protector for all that is. And with that Sphinx sitting at the top, it reminds you of how the Sphinxes have these riddles for you to go through in order for you to step into their pyramids, step into their libraries. And then the Anubis kind of being on the end, the descending side of the wheel, because if we look at the wheel and it's going this way in this clockwise direction, then this side would be descending, and Anubis is the god of the dead, the underworld, so of course that's going to be underneath. And so it's just kind of this representation of all that is, and this like balance between earth and sky, between above and below. And then with our wheel here, we have these different esoteric symbols. We have also these 4 inner circle elements, which I believe are the symbols for the elements, the 4 elements. And so with all of these symbols put together, the Wheel of Fortune is kind of hinting at this ability to be both up above and woo-woo and knowledgeable and intuitive and spiritual, but then also bringing it down into the reality of everyday life, earthly, materialistic. And so Wheel of Fortune, when it comes up, it can represent this, they call it the karma card. They call it the card of balance, the card of good luck, of fortune, Wheel of Fortune. And this card particularly is directly related to the universal law of movement, for me at least. The idea that everything is consistently moving, and when, you know, wheels are consistently moving, and there is this element of the up and the down is showcasing what can happen in life. Life has ups and downs. That is the natural rhythm of life, and everything can't be always up here all the time. And how when this card shows up, it can let us know that, you know, to hold faith, to stay strong, to set your sights on things above. And it can also remind us the reality of like, shit happens. And then with this reversal of the card, it can remind us like maybe we've gone through a rough patch, we're about to come into a little bad luck. This could indicate that there is some sort of karmic blockage that is preventing us from moving forward, and also letting us know that this whatever situation is happening may not be in your best and highest good. It may not lift you up. So the Wheel of Fortune has a lot to share, and I feel like I say that for each and every card, but it is true. The Wheel of Fortune, for me, it was one of the harder cards, I'm gonna be honest, for me to understand. And when I look at it, it's very straight to the point, but it was hard for me to figure out in my spreads like what is the Wheel of Fortune trying to tell me, because I think that it's such an expansive card that I needed that kind of like direct, oh look at, there's a hawk. That there is this like, I needed more detail, I needed more straight to the point. And so that's why sometimes the Wheel of Fortune does frustrate me, but it's not the same for everybody. And that being, this card being connected to the number 10 is also very kind of like woo-woo. It's such a woo-woo card. And you know, some other cards are a little bit more grounded, but this is such a out there type of card, because it deals with the, you know, like the universal laws, the universe, different belief systems, old belief systems, Egyptian belief systems, which if you aren't aware of those, you need to go do some research so that you have a little bit more understanding of the card. But the energy of 10 is such a, that 1 and that 0 is such a, we're here but we're not here. Like things are developed but the whole path isn't laid before us. There is a path, but each and every step may not yet be explicitly laid out or known. And so there's this element of ambiguity in the Wheel of Fortune, and that's part of life. So I think it just further deepens the whole point of the card, which is shit happens. Shit happens. Let me know how you associate with the Wheel of Fortune, or are there other cards that make you frustrated? So I'd love to read that, and thank you again for tuning in. I hope you have a beautiful day. Bye.